So, carnivore gave me a kidney stone. Did it really? Let's talk about that and a few other things today. Hello everyone, Semi-Retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. What you're watching is you're watching me walk. I'm going up that first hill straight off my driveway. I'm a little later in the walk starting the video because the neighbor's dog was out and was barking way too loud to start recording. But what you're watching is you're watching me walk. I know that doesn't sound super exciting, but when you consider 2.5 years ago, I could barely stand. Now I'm out here walking every day. It gets a little bit more interesting. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. It means a lot to me that you spend just a few moments of your day with me. Okay. That's a rough little way to start today. There's that stop sign. If you go back and watch, I used to go around the short block, and then when I was adding, it took me 3 or 4 tries to get up that hill to that stop sign, because that's a steep little hill to start the day off. Oh. But I would like everyone to help me out just a little bit. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Drop down in the comments and say, "Hi, Bob." And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. All these things are absolutely free and help me get the word out that it's never too late to change your life. I'm 61 years old, and I'm doing things I couldn't do when I was 40, like out here walking every day. I guess I walked up that short hill a little faster than I usually do because I wanted to start recording, but that doggone dog was barking so loud. But yeah, I've seen a couple of comments. We've talked about this before, but let's go ahead and talk about it again here. You know, there was one person on one of the Facebook groups I saw the person put out a question. It's like, well, what do I do now? I've been having good results with carnivore for the last 6 weeks. But because I'm carnivore, my doctor insisted I get a CAC scan. So I went and got the CAC scan. And I forget what the score was. It came back 300 and something. Now what do I do? Well, first of all, getting to that point on a CAC scan is a decades-long proposition. You being carnivore for 6 weeks did not do that. I can say that with confidence because after it was at about the 2-year mark when I got my latest CAC scan. Because, you know, I've had a triple bypass surgery. That's one of the things that my cardiologist does right there in his office. And my number went down. Not a lot, but when you consider it normally goes up about 10% every year. not going up that 10% and going down a few points is a really big win. So my answer to that person is, it wasn't carnivore diet that caused your plaques, because they've been building up a heck of a lot longer than 6 weeks. And now to get back to what I started with. I hear this a lot. Oh, well, carnivore. I tried that once, but it gave me a kidney stone. Keto. I tried that once, but it gave me a gallstone. Or keto or carnivore. I tried that once, and it gave me this. No. The thing that happens, and I'm just going to use kidney stones as the example. If you think carnivore or keto gave you a kidney stone, my first guess is that, oh, this is that street we turned down the other day. We're going to go on up over the hill today. Get a little extra distance in. But you've probably had that kidney stone for quite some time. Because what are kidney stones made of? They're primarily calcium oxalate stones. There are a few others, but the vast majority of kidney stones are calcium oxalate. The only place you get oxalate is from plants. So if you're doing carnivore, it didn't give you the kidney stone. You've had it. Because what happens with a kidney stone, while it's in your kidney, you can't feel it. You don't know that it's there. Unless it gets so big that it blocks up your kidney. But those are extremely rare. What causes the pain is when the stone starts to pass. It gets mixed in with your urine and starts to move through the exit. And that's when the pain begins. Once you start a carnivore diet, things like that have been in your body all this time, your body says, oh, we're not getting overloaded with oxalates anymore. I can start to get rid of some. And you've all heard of oxalate dumping. Some people get rashes. Some people get other symptoms. But if you've got kidney stones and your body starts to break those down to get rid of it, now all of a sudden those stones begin to shrink. So it's actually your body getting healthier, but then once it starts to move, it gets painful. And naturally, the first thought of anybody is, well, the carnivore diet gave me kidney stone. Technically, it might have, but not in the way you think. 6 months or 6 weeks, even 6 months of carnivore, or a year or 2 years, where I'm at 2.5 years, it's not going to give you these conditions that take decades to develop. It's just not. It might improve them, like with gallstones. You know, the first few times you eat a big fatty meal and your gallbladder has to squeeze out some bile to help break down that fat. Now all of a sudden you're experiencing the pain of a gallstone, but it wasn't actually the carnivore diet that did it to you. It was, oh, there's another truck coming, so I'm just going to stay here on the side of the road. There's no sidewalk right through here. I was going to walk over to the sidewalk over there, but we're almost down to the intersection. The truck must have turned in. So I will go ahead and walk across the street here to the sidewalk. So yes, the carnivore diet, in a way, might cause kidney stones and other things to crop up, but it's not actually causing it in the way you think it causes it. It's causing it because it's healing. Your body is healing, and as it tries to get rid of things, it can play havoc with your system sometimes. Is there a way to get around it? I don't know. It's probably just one of those consequences of multiple decades of bad habits. And, you know, most of us didn't know they were bad habits at the time. You know, we were eating the foods our doctors told us to eat, whether it be the doctors or the dietitians or whoever it was. But it is, I gotta unzip my coat a little bit. It's a beautiful day here in Omaha, Nebraska. As you can see, the sun is shining. It's Monday. It's currently about 42 or 43 degrees out. It's supposed to get up to almost 50 today, which would be nice. It's supposed to stay fairly nice for the next couple of days, and then the temperature fall off a shelf for the weekend again. But I'm going to get out here and enjoy this while I can. It's not very often. Well, you guys saw Saturday's video. I was out here in my cleats because it was icy. As you can hear, the ice is all melted away. There's still some damp spots on the streets. But overall, it's a really nice day out here. So I'm gonna, as I'm coming up on the traffic zone, I'm gonna go on around one of the bigger blocks here. But yeah, so I'll have some more thoughts when we get back to the house. But, I'm gonna have to go on down there. The sun is so bright, I can't actually see my phone. So to turn the camera around and play some music, I'm gonna have to get on down here into this next little intersection and duck behind this big tree that's casting some shade so that I can see the controls on my phone to flip the camera around. But this is one of those days that, you know, even if you haven't been quite getting the number of steps that you'd hoped to get in because of ice or whatever other reason, today's one of those good days. Hopefully you can get out and get some extra steps in. But again, don't overdo it. But I'll have some more thoughts about this when we get back up to the house. But for now, you can see I'm in the shade, so I can see the controls on my camera. I'm going to go ahead and flip it around, play you some Christmas music, and I'll see you when we get back to the house. Okay, cut the music. If you're keeping track, you'll notice there was a spot in the sped up section where I put my hand over the camera for a couple of seconds. And then back where I went by the street where I turned last time, I said this is the street I turned on. So everything from where I said this is the street I turned on until my hand covering the camera is add-on to what I did last time I went out and around this big loop. Yeah, we're coming up the last little bit of hill of the house here. But yeah, don't let people tell you that red meat does bad things or saturated fat does bad things, because there is nothing in the literature anywhere that says that red meat is bad for you and saturated fat is bad for you. In fact, it's just the opposite. Remember, we talk all the time about how association cannot determine causality. On the other side of that, lack of association can determine innocence. And if you actually go out and look at the literature, you'll find that there is not even a little bit of association between saturated fat, red meat, and any disease process. Unless, of course, you look at the studies where they count pizza and hamburgers with the bun and all the other stuff and lasagna as red meat. Any place where they actually look at just the saturated fat and just the red meat, there is no association. So no, the carnivore diet did not give you a kidney stone. It might have made the one you already had painful because it got small enough to move, but it did not develop due to the carnivore diet. You know what I'm saying there. I mean, yes, it got small enough to move because of the carnivore diet, but it was already there. Hopefully some of what I said today made sense. That's what I've got for you today, folks. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you in the next one.